Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio. So today, we are looking at our newest set. And I know this gets confusing, ladies and gentlemen, but as with all of these videos, I will endeavour to make it as clear as I can, because we need to know what's going on, and, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you guys watching this channel should know everything there is to know about the Pokemon trading card game at the moment. So we have just seen the release of Ultra Prism. That came out as our February set. It's just become legal for tournament play. Coming up in May, we have Forbidden Light, and I've analysed pretty much all the cards from that set. I've got one card left to do, plus a pointless cards from Forbidden Light set, and after those two videos I've literally looked at the entire Forbidden Light set. Well, of course Japan moves a little bit faster than us, so that means that we've already got a little bit of information about the Sun and Moon 7 set, which is going to be coming out in August, and the overwhelming likelihood, although not guaranteed, but the overwhelming likelihood here is that it will be released on Friday the 3rd of August, if they follow the same pattern they have been. No guarantee on that release date, but I feel fairly confident. And over in Japan, it's going to be called Retsuka Non-Charisma, or Torn Skies Charisma. Might be called the same over here, but Forbidden Light, although it has the same name in Japan and outside of Japan, that is incredibly rare and just plain doesn't happen very often. Now, we do have an image of the booster pack as it stands at the moment, although it is a dummy image, it's not guaranteed. What do we see on the front? We see a Rayquaza. And I know a lot of people say Rayquaza, but I'm led to believe it is Rayquaza. Sorry about that. Does that mean we are going to get our Hoenn, our Gen 3 focus set? And I believe the answer is yes. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, hang on a second, Ross. So, in February, we get Ultra Prism, themed around Diamond and Pearl, or Generation 4. Then in May, we get Forbidden Light, which is themed around X and Y, Gen 6. And then in August, we get a new set themed around Gen 3. How does this make any sense? Well, it all comes back to the Pokemon's Year of Legendary Pokemon. Because the distribution in February was Dialga and Palkia. So it made sense to have that generation as the theme of our February set. In May, the distribution is Yveltal and Xerneas, hence why we get that. And then in August, Kyogre and Groudon are going to be the distribution, so it makes perfect sense that that would be the theme of the set that we're going to be getting in August. One thing this does tell us is that the Pokemon Company in Japan and the Pokemon Company International outside of Japan are actually working together quite closely here, because that's the only way we can have sets in Japan being released with the appropriate Pokemon so that when they get translated and released over here, they happen to match perfectly with the legendary Pokemon release schedule. Yay! So what do we actually know about Torn Skies Charisma? Well, in Japan, it's coming out on June the 1st of this year. And while we're here, I should say that this graphic and the majority of the information is coming from Autobot Tesla on Twitter, who I've never met or spoken to, but I can only assume is a lovely man. And it is going to have 96 cards plus question mark, which is of course all the secret rare cards that get added into it. So rather than being a double set, as sometimes happens in Japan, we have another single set going on here with 96 cards plus extras. But remember that when our Sun and Moon 7 set comes out, Sun and Moon 6 Plus, which is the Dragonstorm mini set, which I showed you the set list for just yesterday, will also be thrown into our set. So if 96 cards sounds a little bit small, it's going to be the 96 cards from this set, along with all the cards from Dragonstorm as well, to give us a much beefier set. So, that's the concrete information we know. How about a bunch of predictions? Well, as far as I'm concerned, we've got 3 guaranteed GXs coming in this set, and I don't even think it's particularly controversial to go and call these guaranteed. We're going to be getting Kyogre GX, we're going to be getting Groudon GX, and we're going to be getting Rayquaza GX, because they are the GXs that came in this particular set. Now, Rayquaza is not quite guaranteed here. So if we look at, for instance, Ultra Prism, in Ultra Prism we saw that we got Dialga GX and we got Palkia GX, which of course are the two Pokemon, the two legendary Pokemon, the two box art Pokemon from that particular generation. We didn't, however, get Giratina GX. Now, we did get Giratina Prism Star, but we didn't get Giratina GX. So maybe we get a Rayquaza Prism Star, whereas we get Kyogre and Groudon as GXs. But Kyogre and Groudon are pretty much guaranteed. Want a bit of more evidence? Well, in February, the distribution was Palkia and Dialga, and they came out as GXs in Ultra Prism. In April, the distribution is Raikou and Entei, and they are coming out in the Legends of Johto collection. In May, the distribution is Yveltal and Xerneas, and they are coming out in our May set, which is going to be Forbidden Light. We've already seen pictures of those. In June, we are getting a shiny Zygarde GX box to coincide with Zygarde GX as a distribution. So I think it's fair to say that with Kyogre and Groudon being the August distribution, we are definitely going to be getting Kyogre and Groudon in August. Of course, that does leave a gaping great hole in March, because we've still not got Heatran and Regigigas revealed as GXs. So maybe there's a bit of a gap there, but there's no way we don't get Kyogre and Groudon GXs in this set. That is happening. So let's go for some more reckless speculation. Now, I do believe we are going to get Rayquaza as a GX, and the reason is we'll probably get Deoxys and Jirachi as Prism Stars. Now, Autobot Tesla also made this prediction, so I didn't copy it off him, but if you want to think I did, that's absolutely fine. I can see why you would think that, and I shan't be offended. Of course, by this point, we will also have gotten Naganadel GX, but we won't have gotten GXs of Stack Attacker or Blasphalon, which I'm pretty sure I'm mispronouncing. Sorry about that one. So we've still got two Ultra Beasts that have not been released in the trading card game, and they're not coming in Forbidden Light, we know, because we've seen the set list, and they're not coming in Dragonstorm, we know, because we've seen the set list. So, I mean, they would presumably be leading candidates to have GXs in this set as well. Then, of course, you've got all the Generation 3 Pokemon. And you know a bunch of these are going to be coming as GXs. Now, if we look at the first partner Pokemon from that particular generation, we end up with Sceptile, Blaziken, and Swampert. So maybe we end up with GXs of them, but that didn't actually work in Ultra Prism. In Ultra Prism, we got an Infernape, but it was a regular Infernape. And we got an Empoleon, but it was a regular Empoleon. And we got a Torterra, but it was a regular Torterra. So there's not really a precedent here. We are getting a Greninja GX coming in Forbidden Light, but it seems like that's the only one we're getting. So it's fair to assume we will be getting new cards of those Pokemon, but not fair to assume we will be getting GXs. If we do get a GX, my money's on Blaziken, because Blaziken got a Mega EX. Okay, it was only as a promo, but it got a Mega EX. And Blaziken got a Level X as well. So Blaziken seems to get a little bit more love. So I think it's fair to assume that that will be the most likely one to get a GX. This is, of course, all completely conjecture. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just giving you my predictions. I have one more prediction to make, ladies and gentlemen, and that is Archie's and Maxie's Prism Stars. I think we'll be getting 2 Prism Star supporters, because when we had the Generation 4 theme set, that's Ultra Prism, we got ourselves a Cyrus Prism Star. And in our Generation 6 theme set, we are going to be getting ourselves a Lysander Prism Star. So I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be getting an Archie's and a Maxie's Prism Star. Why would they not just be combined into one card? Well, because they're completely different. We've had a separate Archie's card and a separate Maxie's card when they last came out in Primal Clash. I know we've only been getting one Prism Star supporter per set, and it looks like we're getting a Lance Prism Star in Dragonstorm. But honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't get one of each. And given that the leaders tend to be coming as Prism Stars, I think it's only fair to assume that Archie and Maxie's will as well. And that, I think, is enough reckless speculation for one video. But if you want to make some predictions of your own, and I highly suggest that you do, then go ahead and pop them down in the comment section. Go nuts, but be nice. And when I inevitably named a wrong Pokemon or said the wrong generation, that can go in the comments as well. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, and I'd be very grateful if you did, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio. There are bonus podcasts and all sorts to get. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.